You want a cookie? Hi gang, welcome back to Crazy Life Homestead. I'm Mo. Again, I've been gone for quite a while. There's been a lot going on around here that needed to get done in the background. Let me get you all caught up. So, it was about mid-June and the neighbors came knocking on the door and said, "I think you've encroached on our property." Really? So I got my paperwork out and I showed them the map, and we all went down to the PVA, and the map was correct according to the PVA. According to the deed, it's not. So we had a soft survey done. They come out and they measure and they did our deed. And to find out that, yes, we've encroached on their property, and the PVA was wrong. So, no arguments. I didn't want any arguments. You know, I was going off the map. The PVA, you know, we thought was correct. Okay, so everything that was over in the new garden area that I've been working on since November, pretty much is now back over on our side. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So 4th of July weekend was a big weekend. We shored up the greenhouse. Greg put a 2x12 across the center in the middle, inside of it, and then picked it up with the tractor and rehomed it here. So what you're looking at is the pasture where the horses are and the greenhouse. And then over in the distance there you'll see the compost pile. But as you can see, the horse trailer's here. So this is the original spot that we had for the garden, which has zucchini and still growing some corn, and we tried tomatoes, but when all of this was going on, there was other stuff going on which prevented me from coming to the garden. We'll get to that later. Then we had to get the wood chips out of there. So there were spots on our side of the farm that we could use the wood chips. So we did. We were going to use gravel, and we could still use gravel later. So we were going to use the wood chips on the compost pile and around the garden, and it just... we had a huge pile left, so instead we filled in a couple of holes in the back where the horses are in their paddock, and then we also filled in the drive over here by the barn. The trucks kept getting stuck there, so we put 10 drops from the bucket on the tractor over there. That seemed to have solved the problem for now. We were rearranging a lot of stuff, including in here in the barn. As you can see behind me, the hay is behind me against the wall. On the other side of the wall, we moved 2 more pallets and we put the feed on that side. We moved the panels down. There were only 2 horses here at the time, and they didn't need that much room. So we're in the process of getting 2 8-foot panels to connect to this system and straighten this arrowhead that we have right now out with the 6-foot gate. That'll flatten that out and it'll give us more room in here to utilize the barn space. and free up the garage a little bit. So will the greenhouse. I probably won't be growing anything in the greenhouse over the winter, so I'm gonna wait on that, and probably take some of the garden materials they have in there, the tillers and all that stuff, and put it in the greenhouse. A lot of work to be done, but it's 95 degrees out here. It's disgusting. It has been for the last almost 40 days now, and I'm just taking it very slowly. I don't want to do this fast. I keep saying that. Slow it down. Give me something else to show you. As for today's video, what I want to do, I want to take all of these pallets and move them to the right side of the compost bin in that shade area over there. They're just storing over here at the moment. So that's today's project. Update on the green stalk. Did absolutely nothing. No peppers, no tomatoes, none in the ground over there. And the ones that we put in the ground over there, yeah. Ground is missing something. Sunflowers never came up. Peas barely came up. I got zucchini. The squash planted, but it didn't produce. The potatoes produced. The onions got crowded out by the weeds. Like I said, no sunflowers. The only wildflowers I had were those down there on the first tier, the second tier up. First tier from the water. And even they're struggling. I put a 4th of July theme here. As you can see, it's withering away. The heat is just taking over. But these little 3 planters did great. These guys light up at night. The lanterns. And the one up there on the railing. The little guy in the corner, the sun, he's got bees all over him. And then the one up there on the top there, he lights up. Oh, and the little mushroom also lights up. I'm going to do a before and after of this rose bush when we moved into what it looks like now. It's totally flourished. So what's the point of me moving all those pallets? Well, I think the point that I'm going to try and make here is tomorrow I have to go to a big box store and get some mulch. And I'm going to put it all the way around the greenhouse so we don't have to weed around the greenhouse. Because I'm going to be taking these 4 pots that were growing the garlic, which didn't grow but a bulb. It grew, the garlic grew, but it only grew one clove out of all the bulbs, which is not what I was anticipating, but I will still reseed that for next year in the ground, probably. But we're going to put those on top of the mulch around the greenhouse. Take the straw out of it and probably put roses in there. And probably put bush roses in there, like the one up front on the top of the house here. Oh, back in this nice cool house. It's probably about 68 in here. It's really cool. And as you can see, I'm quite the hot mess. This morning I made some sweet tea because we ran out. This is a 22 quart pot, so I made 22 quarts. It's probably 20. And then I'll add water to that later. Put it in pitchers and leave it in the refrigerator for both of us to drink on. But 99% of that is water, and the rest of it is flavoring, which is what we've been guzzling down on hot days like this to keep ourselves hydrated besides water. We are probably going to be having pork chops tonight for dinner with a very light salad and maybe some corn. Make it light. Don't want a big brick in your stomach when you're going to sleep. Something to easily digest during all this heat. And that'll be it for tonight. So what's prevented us from doing all that? Well, more bad news. Leilani went downhill real quick. I did everything in my power and my knowledge to help this horse. In the end, we ended up putting her down. She's in the back of the field back behind me. And unfortunately, that leaves one horse left, and that's Mr. Duke. And he's alone. So I'm trying to spend as much time with him as I can. She has been down for about 2 weeks now. This is July 29th. I tried getting farriers here. I tried getting, a bunch of people here. Wasn't happening. I did call a farrier, and he did come in, and by that point it was too late. So as you can hear in the background, I'm talking about her, and he misses her. He will wean for quite a while. He doesn't like to be alone. That's my problem. Okay, that's all I'm doing today. I think that's 21 pallets, 19 pallets, I think, 21, something like that. I lost count after about 14. I couldn't lift many of them. I lifted about half of them, I guess. I don't know. But it's about 94 degrees out here. It's hazy, hot, and humid. It's about to rain. So I'm going to call it a day. As you can see, I'm literally sweating. Oh, it's hot. So, you guys stay safe. Stay out of trouble. We'll catch you on the next one. This is the game that is played If I let this run, you'll see what's going on. Duke doesn't want anything to do with it. If you ever see a horse with its ears back, they're either listening, as you can see she's listening, or it's a threat. If they're flat up against their head like this, watch this. See how it's flat, almost flat up against her head? She's telling her by signal, be careful because I'm on the run. And of course you've got Bella trying to get into the mix of everything, so but this is the game. She's trying to show her dominance. So let me get them fed up and then we'll stop all this.